Hi everybody, it's Gail from Gail's Bookish Things. Welcome back to a new Vlogtober episode. Today I thought it'd be fun to talk about what pens I have inked up for my fall journaling. I've been watching a lot of videos on the inks that people are using or what they've selected, and that kind of made me think a little bit more specifically about what I'm using. So I've shared with you some of my fall journals, this one, for example, and I've used all kinds of inks in that. But in my gratitude one, I'm focusing more on fall colors. And let me just go back to this real quick. I am trying to incorporate overall a bit more of a fall theme just because I love the season so much. So what I thought would be good is just to kind of do a little rundown of what I've selected. And then maybe that would be something that you like to think about too. Does that matter to you? Do you care if it's a fall color, or do you just enjoy writing in whatever color whenever you want, which is of course fine too. I kind of find it fun sometimes to come up with themes, and since I do love this season so much, I wanted to focus on the colors that I'm using being specifically what I consider kind of a fallish color. So I have my ink swatch book. If you're new and you haven't heard me mention, this is a Chic Sparrow, Cherry Skies, or Cherry Sky. I don't remember if it's singular or plural. This is a really awesome notebook. I like it a lot, and it's really getting its own personality and patina as I've been using it. Anyway, that's just an FYI item if you're wondering how that ages. So this front little book here is kind of just a miscellaneous swatch book. It started out a little more specific, and then as I tend to do, I don't think things through and I grab something and I just start using it. So I've got a couple different notebooks going with swatching in them, but I'm just going to come to this blank page. This is Tomoe River paper, and it is 52 GSM, and this one was from Goulet Pens. So a quick little introduction. Most of my pens are TWSBIs. I'll put them in order of nib size here. This TWSBI is a medium, and this one is a broad. Help if you could see it. And this is a 1.1 stub. So I kind of like having the little differences in sizes so I can get a feel for what I really am drawn to and what inks I like and which kinds of nibs. But man, that's like an ever-going variable, isn't it? I'm learning that as I get more and more into fountain pens, that all kinds of things can affect your preferences. And then this is my Benu Briolette. And this is the Luminous Amber. So it's the only one like it that I have. This is a stainless steel nib, but it's gold tone. This is a really nice pen. That was a surprise from my hubby. And then here I have my Lamy Safari. Yeah, these are TWSBI Ecos, by the way. This is just a non-watercolor pen. This is a Le Pen. I'll talk about that in a minute. This is a Charlie pen that I got when I purchased my bottle of Heart of Darkness ink by Noodlers. Okay, so let me start with, let me see, I have something over here I want to get handy, my little Stalogy notebook. I have a little blob here. Okay, so I'll show you that in a second. Let's start with this one. This I have put in Alt Goldgrün. And maybe I'll just write out Happy Fall. Or we'll add another word. Happy Fall, everyone, since I like fall. In this pen, which I believe is a fine nib, this is a fine nib, and this is a very basic pen. Obviously it's an eyedrop filler, and you just fill it and screw the nib piece on. I am liking the thicker flow or a wetter flow with the alt. Actually, take that back. Forget everything I just said. This is the green marine. Sorry. That is one of the first inks I bought. And I think it's a Noodler's ink. I think I bought the wrong one. Because when I got it, it was a little bit different. I think I might have been looking at a different one. It's okay. It writes really nicely, very consistently, a wet ink. Oh, see, that's what it does. I didn't even notice that. It drops these big blobs of ink every so often. I didn't really want that on my board. I don't know if you can see that right there. And that's what I was going to point out here. The other day when I took it out to use it, it just did that. So I obviously would call that a drawback on the pen. Man, that's a lot. Oh well. One of these days I'll have to just buy a new board, I guess. Doesn't hurt anything really, but there's a kind of a funny story about that. But anyway, I won't get into that. So I'm thinking, actually, I wouldn't highly recommend this pen. I appreciated the fact of getting a free pen with a ink purchase, and I like that it's such a simply filled pen. You can switch out inks really easily in it and wash it out super easily. And I'm like having a pen to use the green marine in because I wanted to have all my greens in use for the season. But that is kind of a pain, you know. So now I have it on my finger. It's on my board, stained. I guess I could try bleaching it later. And so, anyway, but I am using that. So, and I'm keeping notes off to the side, like off screen, for my different journaling things with this pen. So if it blobs over on my, scratch pad here or whatever, my little notebook, it doesn't really hurt. But when stuff like that happens, that's not good. So I guess, not that this is a recommendation thing, I'm just showing you what I'm using, but if you're thinking of that, that's not the most reliable pen. This I just picked up yesterday at Joann's. This is Le Pen, and the color, it's made in Japan, ochre. I love this color. That's the color I'm wearing today. I have a Fial Robin mini sling in ochre. I am really drawn to this color. And if you want to hear something, well, my oldest daughter would say it's like baby poop color, but I still like it. So anyway, she can like what she likes and I like what I like. This is something new to me. This is a flex nib. And I was unaware of those in this brand of pen, but I have not been using these in quite some time. I used to use them all the time, especially when I was doing scrapbooking, like the Creative Memories, and I had the fine tip Le Pen in black. You know what? I think it was Le Pen, or it might have been actually Micron. But anyway, so I found this, and for $1.99, I thought I'd try it, and I had a coupon, so I got it for less than $2. So I kind of like this. It's a soft tip, and it's pretty bendy. And by that, I mean, I guess because it's soft, it doesn't have a, that's hard to talk in, right, for me. It doesn't have a firmness to it that I might prefer a little bit, and maybe it's because I'm used to using the fountain pens now. But it's really fun, and it makes a nice color. Let me see if I can find where I used it earlier today. Yeah, I colored in there. This is the cream paper. This is a non-MD paper, just an Amazon purchased Traveler's Notebook insert. But I love it. It's really, I wouldn't say mustard, because I almost think of mustard as being more yellow. But like an ochre, a nice ochre color. So I like it for filling in. I think I like it a little bit better on the other papers, maybe than I do on this Tomoe River. And I've been able to write in my journal with it on the less quality paper, if you would call it that. But that's fun. You know, for $1.99, they have all kinds of colors, and if you're looking for something to mix up your fall journaling colors with, that might be something. Go check it out at a craft store. And, you know, they don't all have to be fountain pens. I've just enjoyed them so much that I'm just drawn to using them all the time. This is Lamy Safari. You saw me switch the nib. It's now in a broad, and I got the black finish because I thought that would look really nice, and I do like that look. I love this pen. Let's write with this one. Happy fall, everyone. I hope I'm not getting in your line of vision again with my drawing wet hair. This is Diamine Pumpkin. I forgot to write Noodlers up there, but it doesn't matter. So super good orange for fall. I think it will take me into November too. Writes great. I love the broad nib. I was doing a lot of writing in a different page earlier with this, and it just flowed and flowed. I might be able to find that, and I'll just show you. So far I have a pretty much a basic green, an ochre, and an orange. And I was practicing writing. You don't want to see me do this. Pretty sure it was in this book. I can't find it now. I'm re-memorizing the first Psalm 1 with a friend. And anyway, I wrote out the whole thing with this, and I loved it. It just wrote. So anyway, great ink. And in this broad nib, super good. I used to have a medium on this. It was fine. It wasn't bad at all. I just like the broad a little bit better. But it was a negotiable difference, I think, in my opinion. Okay, so these are all kind of, not this one. That one I don't know if I should keep. Yellows. So let's do the other yellow. We'll just see. Staying with a theme. This is my TWSBI Eco Medium. And in here, I think I have, let me write. I think it's sepia. Oh my gosh. Let's just write and I'll be able to tell you. Oh yeah. This is the Scotch Brown by Monteverde, however you pronounce it. I think. Gosh, I get those mixed up. And this is TWSBI Eco Medium. So this is just a basic brown. Jen, if you happen to be watching and you still are looking for a basic brown, or anybody looking for a basic brown, I think this is a really good brown that's brown, like doesn't have so many undertones. I'm liking it quite a bit too. And they all do seem a little bit different depending on the pen. Okay, here again is the Benu Briolet. This pen is made in Russia. And in here I have sepia. For a while I was thinking that these pens, these colors, the Monteverde Brown and the sepia were the same color. And that's when I had one of them in here, and this just wrote more finely. I don't know. Yeah, I had that same brown in this pen and in this pen, and I couldn't distinguish the difference. So I'm not sure why that was. Maybe it was the paper I was using, and then I realized at that point the importance of keeping track of what pens you're using with which inks in a certain notebook or something somewhere. I really, really like this sepia, and this is a broad nib also. That is the thing I am gravitating towards. So this is the Benu Briolet broad. I usually try to write a little neater when I'm not just doing this kind of thing. This has really fun shading. I don't know if you can pick it up, and it's subtle, but like if you take the time and you look at it, you can see a lot of fun shading, and that's what drew me to that ink. I wanted something that looked kind of vintagey and kind of had a good shading quality. So we have a dark green, a golden ochre, pretty much a bright orange, a neutral brown, and the sepia would almost maybe be a golden brown if you were looking to classify it in that way, or maybe you would call it a brown with yellow undertones. I don't know. This is still the shimmery, wonderful frog. I really like this. And I'm just twisting it a minute to get out the shimmer effect, because sometimes I don't think it kind of gets like stuck in one spot or something unless you mix it up. Happy fall, everyone. And this is my TWSBI Eco broad nib. Yeah, I'm not writing I did write, see, I'm very inconsistent. Am I writing the names? I decided to start talking about pens instead. This is Frog, and that is Organics Studio. I really like this ink. It goes down super wet. The shimmer is beautiful, and in the broad nib, it's a great combo. So I'm just going to go back and just write. Which ink? I don't know why I got distracted from that. This one is the Monteverde Scotch Brown. I don't even know if I said that earlier, but that's what that one is. And last but not least, in my largest nib size is the 1.1 stub TWSBI Eco here, if you are not familiar. And I decided I did a very bold and out of character thing. It doesn't have a red ink anymore. Like, I just was trying to match inks with the TWSBI colors because I just thought these jewel tones were really pretty, and that was kind of the beginning of my collection. But I decided, I'm going to think outside the box, go out on a limb here, and put a green ink in a red pen. So I say that funny. I'm not really that stressed by it, but it's just funny how my original thoughts went and how they've kind of morphed into something else. That is not unusual. So in this one, let's see. Let me think. I have my Alt Gold Green, my third green. This is a sample green from my friend Jen. This one I own, and this one I also own, because when I bought this, even though it's not a bad ink, it just wasn't the ink. Sorry, that I was wanting. I wanted something with more shading. I will use that though. That's good for just writing. This Alt Gold Green reminds me of the Diamine Sepia, but in a green as far as shading goes. This one is by, Diamine, or however you pronounce that, Sepia, and this one is by, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought, Rohrer and Klinger. This is the bottle, Alt Gold Grün. So I like the warmer tone greens and or rich greens. And for this being a 1.1 stub, that doesn't write as, hugely or wetly as I might think. But I love it, and I'm definitely liking the Alt Gold Grün in, that's hard, that's a mouthful, in the broader nib, because you get more of the shading effect. So let me write that down. And let's see, let's put it down here. Alt, let me think here so I spell it correctly. It's kind of fun to do the punctuation. I know I don't have the best filming set up, but there is a real nice shading there, and this is just a real earthy green, where this would make me think of more pine trees or like a still, rich, quiet green. That may not make sense, but it's just like a deep, deep green without dimension. This green has shimmer, and this green has a golden effect somewhat, or at least a nice shading. So that is what I am currently using for my, whoops, helps get the right in, my fall inks for journaling. I do have blue in one and purple in another, but I'm focusing on using these so that my journals kind of reflect more the time of year. I haven't been consistent at that, but over the past several days or so, I've really wanted to do that, especially as I moved into my beautiful 2 fall journals that I received as gifts last year. I'm really liking using those. So anyway, I hope that was fun. I know there's a lot of videos like this, but I just think it's kind of fun to see what other people are using. I've really enjoyed watching a lot of those, and it gives me ideas of inks that I might want to try. Maybe I want to get a sample, or maybe I just like what I see so much I want to get a bottle. I feel like I have enough inks, but it's one of those things like you kind of feel like there might be something out there you like just a little bit better, but I'm pretty happy with these and enjoying using these. Of course, I'm always open for more because I love trying out these inks. So if you have any recommendations on good fall colors, please comment below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow with another Vlogtober. Talk to you then. Bye.